He talks about his mental health. He said that it wasn't until he met his wife Meghan, known as Rachel, that he turned to therapy to help him to deal with his past. Have a look at this clip.
You have to prioritise your mental health.
Do you tell other people in the family, I need to get help for her, we need help for her?
That's just not a conversation that would be had.
Why?
I didn't have anyone to turn to.
He always said to me, he said, you've got to sit down and think about those memories. But for me, it was like, I don't want to think about it.
So when you go through trauma as a child, it kind of gets stuck in your head. Harry is experiencing helplessness as he lost his mom as a child. So as an adult, he will be wearing the childhood lens that says, I am helpless because I couldn't help my mom. With Harry and Meghan, I see a transfer of a relationship of his mother, but to a wife who is very controlling. The question is, who really wrote his book? He said that when his brother pushed him down, he broke his necklace. Man, that's a woman's turn. It is a chain, I think you're referring to. Anyway, I wonder what will happen once the money tree runs out dry. There may be even a book called Divorce. Who knows? We all have traumas, but left untreated can affect the decision you make in your adulthood.
They believe they were driven out of here because of racism in Britain. What do you make of that debate?
That's absolute fallacy. It's kind of hard for Meghan to say that the UK is a racist country when the leader of the UK is darker skinned than her and the mayor of London is darker skinned than her, and I am a person who's probably darker skinned than her, and I've never experienced any kind of bigotry against myself, besides the fact I'm a straight male. She has attacked an age-old institution, and there are people who are very patriotic about that institution, and by attacking it and bringing a degree of distaste to it, there's going to be people who don't like her. And if you're a dislikable person, you can't just instantly stand up and say it's because of my skin color. It might be because of your actions and some of the things you've said.
Keep watching and I will expose the biggest lie that Harry told in last night's interview on ITV. Now, I don't know about you, but I was gobsmacked and dumbfounded by what was revealed in last night's interview. And not the fact he took cocaine, and not the fact he'd had arguments with his brother. Who hasn't here had a sibling rivalry? Who here hasn't had a brother or sister a few years older than them at school who has just blatantly ignored them? Who wants to be embarrassed by their younger brother or sister at school? It's not a unique thing to you. It's not a unique thing. You're living in your own little world that you believe that Super Harry is going to save us all from the British media, that only you on your crusade will be able to save the world. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We don't care. I'm only saying this because we don't care. You are your own family. You have your own family problems. We have a family. We have our own family problems. But are the British people stupid enough to believe everything they read in the media? Are the British people stupid enough to believe that what was said on this interview is the whole truth and nothing but the truth, just because he said it on face-to-face camera and he's been interviewed by his friend? It's a narrative that has been controlled by them from the beginning. Before Harry and Meghan left the UK and before all this happened, did anybody really know what was going on, or this narrative that's been released to them that they've had to leave the country because they feed for them live? That's been released by them, and now Harry is going on TV on an interview to compete against his own narrative. His own narrative. So which version of the truth is it? The version that they released to the press that they are now saying was false, or the version that he is now saying which is truth, which is still all one-sided? We're still not getting any comments from the palace. It's just unbelievable how much arrogance and how much he thinks that we are all stupid. He's privileged in his own life. He's got his own millions. He doesn't have a clue what the rest of the British public think, or even how they live their lives, or the fact that he thinks he's unique by having only these problems. It's just crazy to me. Anyway, the biggest lie he said was right at the end. Yes, I am happy and I'm at peace with it all. But yet, you've not let go. You still have this crusade. You still think that you can change the world. If you're happy and at peace, do you really need to do that? I'm sorry, but you saying that at the end has just totally invalidated the whole 90-minute interview, which wasn't 90 minutes. It was about 60 with all the adverts.